Well, for the first time, we heard detectives reveal very detailed evidence that shows every location where the rapper was last seen the night he was killed. They have enough reason to believe that he was the target of a very calculated plan. At the same time, attorneys on both sides are arguing their case. Investigators believe that the suspects followed the rapper carefully on social media posts from various clubs throughout the night, eventually following him to his hotel off Fowler Avenue near USF.
Yo, things just got crazy in the courtroom. The crew behind Foolio's murder is spilling all the tea on Yungen Ace, and they're not holding back. The evidence they brought out has everyone's jaw dropping. It's all going down, and it looks like Yungen Ace might be deeper in this mess than anyone thought. Buckle up, because this court drama is wild. Foolio's death has rocked the rap scene, especially in Jacksonville, Florida. It's been a little over a month since he passed, and now the cops have finally ID'd the killers.
Tampa police looking for whoever's responsible for a shooting that left a Florida rapper dead. It happened early Sunday morning outside a hotel. Charles Jones was among the 4 people shot. Fans knew him as Foolio.
Turns out it wasn't just one person. It was a crew of 5. So far, 4 of them have been caught. Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, Sean Gathright, and Rashad Murphy. The last guy, Davion Murphy, is still on the run. There's talk that the arrested suspects dropped Yungen Ace's name, who's in the ATK gang, and all the suspects seem to have ties to ATK. It looks like things are heating up, and Yungen Ace might be more involved in this case than we thought. So, let's break down what went down with Foolio's murder. The cops have been digging into this tragic death of Charles Jones, aka Foolio, and that's led to those 4 arrests. The 5th guy's still out there though. The police think Foolio's murder is part of an ongoing gang war in Jacksonville. The suspects are all from the ATK and 1200 gangs, who have been beefing with Foolio's gang, 6 Block, for years. The Department of Justice even called ATK Ace's top killers in a 2022 report, showing just how violent this gang feud is.
Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 Block gang. Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville. I want to send a clear message to anyone that the city of Tampa is not where you want to come to settle a dispute.
Things are getting real in the case of Foolio's murder. On the night of the hit, Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews were trailing Jones and his crew. Surveillance footage even caught Chance using a phone that later turned out to be Andrews. Call records show Chance was talking to Sean Gathright, who was cruising in another car, a black Chevy Impala. All the evidence is piecing together, showing the suspects' movements from Jacksonville to Tampa. It's wild how they coordinated this whole thing. With 3 shooters and some heavy firepower, they took out Jones at a Home 2 Suites hotel. The cops nabbed the crew soon after, and they've got a ton of evidence to back it up.
Keep coming. Walk back to me. Can't find your back.
Anytime Fitness, it was at 413.
Even with all the arrests and evidence piling up, Davion Murphy is still out there, and the cops are on the hunt. They need to get him to wrap up this huge case.
At the same time, another suspect still on the run. Officials say he's considered armed and dangerous.
The whole investigation into Foolio's murder has uncovered a tangled web of gang activity and violence. From surveillance footage to the weapons they found, the evidence has been key in bringing the suspects to justice. But with Davion Murphy still on the loose, the authorities are pushing hard to close the case for good. And guess what? It all seems to point back to Yungen Ace, with reporters even asking if he's being looked into. So, you're probably asking yourself, what's the deal with Foolio and Yungen Ace anyway? Well, their beef isn't anything new. It's been a fiery back and forth with a lot of public shots fired. It all kicked off back in 2018 when Yungen Ace's brother and 2 close friends were tragically killed in a drive-by shooting in Jacksonville, Florida. Yungen Ace survived, but that incident really set the stage for the bad blood between these two rappers.
You're building a career, things are doing well, but back home in Florida, there was the whole beef that was kind of brewing with you and your people and Yungen Ace and his people.
Yeah.
And a bunch of shit started happening around that. Now, in terms of your relationship with Yungen Ace, did you guys know each other? And what was the whole, like the reason behind all the craziness that was happening?
I don't know. I ain't really like me and him was always mutual. Like, it wasn't no fuck you, and it wasn't like we cool, like we was mutual. You get what I'm saying? Like, we used to hang around some of the same people.
People feel like I'm behind a lot, but I'm not. I'm not behind. I'm working, I'm grinding every day. I'm grinding, I got a family, I'm working, I'm grinding. I'm trying to be big. I'm trying to be big.
Well, like in the mind of fans, they think like you're like this, like they look at rappers like some shot caller mob bosses that if something happens to the other person that you press the button. But that wouldn't align, you know what I mean? It wouldn't align if you're shedding a tear and
Nah, hell no, I was shedding a tear for real. So yeah, they had to be thinking crazy. People think me and him was like really, really into it, but we weren't really into it.
I heard y'all on Clubhouse.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just trying to tell people, like, we be conversating in the chat.
You may have missed the little detail, but if you take a second look, you can see something quite interesting in the interview that Yungen Ace did with Academics. Yungeen Ace gave viewers an interesting moment to talk about. As the interview progressed, Ace casually reached for a bottle of Don Foolio, took a sip, and then thoughtfully touched the cap of the bottle. This gesture seemed to captivate the audience, who were already engaged in the discussion between the rapper and Academics. The way he touched the cap somehow makes you wonder why he did that and if it has anything to do with Julio's death. Plus, you can't help but notice how nervous he is, and it made him laugh several times. Eerie. Now, getting back to their beef, Julio Foolio, who's part of a rival gang, didn't hold back after the tragedy, using his music and social media to mock Yungen Ace and his lost friends. This just amped up the bad blood between them, sparking a series of diss tracks and heated online jabs. Both rappers have been trading nasty threats and disrespectful lyrics, each using their platform to take shots at the other. One of the big moments was Foolio's track, When I See You, where he remixed Fantasia's hit and took direct aim at Ace, taunting the deaths of Ace's brother and friends. Yungen Ace fired back with Who I Smoke, a track that dissed Foolio and his fallen associates, cranking the feud up another notch.
The song went crazy. Who I Smoke went crazy. I'm mad as fuck.
Oh yeah, it was on a golf course, man.
I'm
gonna tell you, man.
Crazy. I'm like, damn, what I could do? I go to Miami. I was already going through my comments. They were like, man, they were sending me a bunch of songs to remix. They sent Miley and Cyrus, Part in the USA. Imagine me rapping on that shit. Part in the USA. They sent Michael Jackson, Beat It. They sent all type of shit, but what stuck out to me was When I See You, Mariah Carey. Or whoever sang that shit, Fantasia. Did that song, I first listened to it in the studio. I'm like, damn, some niggas finna be mad. So I get back to Jacksonville. I go get a poster printed out of the situation, the news clip with his dead homeboys on the shit. I get like 2 bottles of cheap ass champagne or whatever. I go to the graveyard, I shoot the video, I drop that bit.
You don't think you went too far?
Hell no.
And it doesn't stop there. Yungen Ace has been on a roll, talking wild and dropping new tracks since Foolio's passing. He's released 2 songs, Do It and Game Over, both of which seem like direct shots at Foolio and his crew. In Do It, Yungen Ace wastes no time addressing the beef with some hard-hitting lyrics and bold statements, making it clear he's not stepping back. The intensity of these tracks has caught the attention of fans and critics, turning up the heat on an already explosive situation. Game Over goes even harder, packed with taunts and threats aimed right at Foolio and his gang, as if Ace is declaring victory in their ongoing war. The production adds a menacing vibe, and the lyrics are straight up nasty. These tracks have sparked a lot of chatter online, with fans debating whether this is just another round in their saga or a dangerous escalation. The media has also picked up on it, putting more eyes on this high-profile feud. Yungen Ace's decision to keep the beef going after Foolio's death has people questioning the ethics of such a public and violent conflict. With one of the suspects still at large, the investigation isn't fully closed, and Ace might still find himself in court or facing questions about the whole situation. Given their history, it all just makes sense. As the investigation into Julio Foolio's tragic murder continues, all eyes are on Yungeen Ace. The series of events and the heated rivalry between these two rappers have fans and critics buzzing about the possibility of Ace's deeper involvement. With the arrest of multiple suspects and the mounting evidence, the dots are starting to connect back to Ace. Speculation is rife that he might have had a hand in orchestrating the act, possibly by soliciting the attack. While the authorities are still piecing together the puzzle, the tension in the air is palpable. Whether this is the climax of their long-standing feud or just another chapter remains to be seen. What's clear is that this case is far from over, and Yungeen Ace could soon find himself in the hot seat as the search for answers continues.